Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Doing Business in Bentonville. I'm Andy Wilson. I'm your host today, and we're so glad you're joining us today. Before we get started with the podcast today, I want to say to all of our viewers, and thank you. Thank you so much. You're just doing great. You're sharing the podcast. I love your comments. You can always check and write to me, text me on LinkedIn. I love to hear from you. And because of your viewership, we're now viewed in over 90 countries. We have over 2,000 viewers a day now on Doing Business in Bentonville, and it's all because of you. So thank you. Okay, we're going to get straight into our podcast this morning. Two great guys, two great friends. I'm so excited. Eric Howerton, J.S. Bull, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe we finally doing this.
I know, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
What a great day.
Over 90 podcasts and Doing Business in Bentonville, and finally I get you guys here.
I mean, maybe we're hard to book, bro.
I mean, I'm telling you.
We're hard to book.
Okay, as you all know, our viewers and listeners, you know that we focus on omnichannel every day, every podcast, because our vision, Eric Howerton, is demystify omnichannel.
I mean, yeah.
We're going to do that today.
Yeah.
We're going to demystify this. And I have a few opening comments, and then we're going to get straight into with these guys. You want to really lean in because, first of all, of course, I'm omnichannel, and we have a big announcement today that you don't want to miss about these guys and what they're going to do in the future with omnichannel. In fact, it's just going to be awesome. But you guys really are going to do something really great.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to tell everybody. But hold on, okay? Let's talk about the future of omnichannel. I have a few comments about it, and of course, we live in the space of Walmart here and other great retailers. So we get to lean in and hear from the experts and what Walmart and Doug McMillan and the leaders have to say about omnichannel. But as we look, if we take a step back, retail is changing. It's exciting, isn't it, guys?
It is.
What is happening in retail?
Mm-hmm.
I go back to 40 plus years and starting with a brick and mortar at Walmart, and now to see where we're at and where you guys are going to take us.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about
I love that. Yeah.
As I mentioned, the future of retail is shaping up into what I would call technology innovation.
Mm-hmm.
It's evolving around the customer expectations. Those are two things we will get into today because we want to talk about innovation and we want to talk about the customer. You can't have either or. You have to have both. So we're going to talk about that. But the lines between online shopping continue to blur. Mm-hmm. What you guys are going to share with us today is help create what I call clarity into this online process of shopping and delivery. Retailers, what they have got to do, and you're going to help them, what I'm calling the seamless experience across all channels. As we shop today, it's not just brick and mortar. It's on your phone. It's on your laptop. It's on the website. There's multiple channels today the way we shop. Mm-hmm. And I love it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's nothing better to order from Walmart Plus. It's going to be delivered, and I don't have to leave my house.
Yeah.
Or I can do it wherever on my phone. It's so awesome. So let's get straight into what you gentlemen are about to do. So, Eric, JS, tell us about the announcement. What are you guys about to do?
Well, Andy, thank you. We are rejoining our partnership, JS and I are, to create a new company called AdFury.ai. And it kind of sounds like what it is. It's a fury of integrating and distributing and getting relevant ads out to the customer through retailer media networks. And we're using AI models and a model flow orchestration to make sure that all those things are as automated as possible, as relevant as absolutely possible, and it gets down to the customer to where they can make a really confident purchasing decision, just like you're talking about on omnichannel, right? Mm-hmm. And so, the biggest, I think the most exciting thing is sitting next here with JS and doing this venture again together because we had some time at White Spider back in the day and did pretty well as partners, and we don't hate each other yet.
Yeah. They'll love each other. It's amazing.
With JS, let's talk about this partnership because
Yeah.
that both of you are at Watt Spider. How many years did you work together?
It was close to 5.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 years.
Yeah. Directly in the business.
In the business, yeah. That's right. I was on the board of White Spider for a while before.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've known each other for a long time. Both of you are extremely incredible in what you've done and the impact you've had, not only on a great company and the people, but the community.
Thank you.
You've done that so well, so thank you for having such an impact in Northwest Arkansas. So, JS, when you guys were working together, what brought you together? What's going to bring you back together? What is that? Something major.
I'm interested to hear this.
Yeah.
No, I mean, if you sum it up, really easy, it's vision.
Okay.
I mean, Eric has tremendous vision.
Yes.
And forever he was telling everyone, hey, Walmart e-commerce is coming. You better get ready. And people didn't want to listen. And he built a company around it. And I caught on and said, you know what? I think you're right. It is coming. Back in 2019. And sure enough, online pickup and delivery quickly followed and the whole market changed and Omni became a real thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And Eric's just had a vision for what is next and what is changing, especially in this retail environment.
Right.
And so I was pretty comfortable. I took a year break after leaving White Spider. I got involved in some investment groups, advising other CEOs, some charity stuff. And Eric started telling me about AdFury and the idea behind it. And I went from, man, this is going to be tough. Like, a lot of work to do here, to having some really serious FOMO.
Yeah.
And going, you know what? Maybe I want to get in on this. And let's do it.
Yeah. The response is always, let's go.
Let's do it.
You're the man.
Oh man, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, Eric, let's jump into this AI.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know you're passionate about it, and we know that AI will play a critical role in personalizing the shopping experience. Right?
Yep.
So it's going to include AI-powered recommendations. It can include chat boxes and virtual assistants. It can be personalized marketing and promotion. I mean, all of that can be part of it, and much more. And we'll talk about it. But talk about AdFury.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So the premise, and I think it starts with the pain point, right? Of, the customer, the shopper. All right. We can start with that at that level. And then it leads up into how brands are able to promote their products relevantly for that customer.
Right.
Which then leads to the agencies that are helping the brands to promote the relevancy to the customer,
Okay.
which then leads to the retailers that want to make sure that their customers have a fantastic, relevant experience on their site,
Okay.
right? And
All right.
and so really all the premise of it is that when a customer goes into a retailer ecosystem and they're topping in, looking for products that are specific for their need at that very moment, which is crazy, right? You brought it up in the beginning about the changing of the behaviors, right? Everybody, yourself, myself, every listener here, we know that we're becoming more and more, have higher expectations to get what we want when we want it in immediacy.
Right.
And so today, a lot of times, if a customer goes to a retailer and they type in a query looking for a very specific thing or a question about a product, the relevancy of what populates may not always be as accurate as needed. And it can lead to frustration, which can lead to buying other products, or even worse, exiting and going into a different ecosystem to buy.
Exactly.
And
Even worse.
Even worse, right? And then everybody loses, And I mean, look, I think JS can probably speak to this even more than I can, but man, a lot of respect for the creative agencies, the ad agencies out there, the media buying groups, the brands. Everybody is working so hard and spending so much time to ensure that customers have that experience. And then we put in AdFury, it just comes in and it helps save a lot of time, a lot of the stress, a lot of the knowledge gaps or pressures that are there in this changing ecosystem. And that's what our tool does.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, if we want to get into the details of the tool so everybody understands what we're talking about, a lot of times the creative designers, they've got to design a campaign, right? And this campaign has to be in 12 different formats for a display campaign on Walmart.com with Walmart Connect, right? And so that's 12 pieces of creative that they've got to put together. You can't get query specific, right, and as relevant in the shopper's own voice, because if you were going to target 10 queries, you'd be creating 10 times the 12 formats and 120 pieces of creative. That'll take a ridiculous amount of time, but no one does it. And so the beauty is our system will individualize and create these specific different display campaigns in a variety of formats and messages, right? Using AI logic, using research information on retail websites and Walmart, right? To put it in the customer's voice and be more specific, and which means more relevant to the customer. So our system saves the creatives time. It doesn't replace what they're doing.
Right.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, there's a genesis of creative, right? That we're not even trying to get into that space. Like, how do you generate beautiful creative ads? Is not really our space. Now, what we do is we take that beauty that the creatives have built, right? Whether on the internal in-house marketing team, they're an ad agency, you know, or they're the brand themselves, and we take that asset that JF is talking about, and then we multiply it, scale it across
And
all
augment the messaging on it,
Yep,
right?
augment the messaging so it's relevant with those keywords.
All right.
And then we just multiplied. Now you have 100 different ad units that you can deploy immediately at the same amount of time that you could with one. And so all that means is it waterfalls down into this relevancy. It's about getting that exact phrase for that exact customer at that exact time and then adding to cart and moving on with their shopping experience. That's the win.
You know, that's really huge. And because it's going to simplify
Yes.
shopping.
Yep.
I mean, it really will. You know, I heard, I was reading an article that Doug McMillan was interviewed on recently, and he talked about the changes in retail in the past, but the changes in the future are going to be much greater.
Yep.
And it's going to get even more complex. But what you gentlemen are doing, you're taking that complexity, if you will, and you've figured out a way to improve the complexity.
Yeah.
For the shopper. So the benefit, or you talked about brands, agencies, retailers,
Yeah.
and customers. And I'd like to just drill down a bit in each of those four areas, your vision and how you see that. So let's take brands for a moment, and let's spend a moment to tell us, I mean, your thinking around how this is going to simplify brand. So,
I mean, I think it all comes down to the impact that the ads have, right?
Yeah.
If you can speak in the customer's own language and be more relevant to the customer, then you get a higher return on investment.
That's it.
You know, more clicks. And one of the things we did at White Spider that set us apart is we got query specific, both in our organic optimization for product pages, as well as our Walmart Connect campaigns. And it put us ahead of the other agencies in this area because we took the time to get in the customer's language and become more relevant in these ways. And now we're taking that same concept and that understanding and knowing what drove a lot of our success, and we're applying it here to AdFury with a system that builds ads quickly. And so some brands have their own creative groups inside them, right? And so we'll probably address the agency advantage, and it'll kind of overflow into that. But I think in general, you want a higher return on investment. You want to be more relevant. You want to shoppers to appreciate what they're seeing, not resent it.
Yeah.
and brands want to sell.
Yeah.
That's
They
right.
want to sell their product.
Well, they want to be discovered
Yeah.
when a customer's researching or navigating, searching, trying to buy something, and then they, you know, and then they, JS is the main point, which is like if they type in a very specific thing like gluten-free, right, bread or whatever it might be, or muffins, like you want to make sure that your ad restates that. So it's a one-to-one because like reality is we can all testify to this experience. Like I want to see I don't want to think when I'm shopping.
Right.
I'm not trying to be a professional shopper. I'm trying to get stuff for my home. right? And feed my family or feed myself or whatever it is. And so if I have to look at an ad that just says muffins, chocolate chip muffins, because there's one creative, right?
But you're searching gluten free,
But
you think this doesn't even apply to me. Right?
exactly. So therefore you don't click, you just scroll on. But if it said gluten free chocolate chip muffins, I might go click.
Well,
it's that simple.
You said speed. That's exactly what we want as consumers. We're busy. There's a lot coming out of consumer all the time. And I love that. And I think speed for the brand is critical. And that's what you're doing. Agencies. Talk about that.
What? Yeah. So, I mean, like, it does, like JS mentioned, it does overflow, right? Because typically you have your agencies that are working on behalf of the brands to get a higher return on investment, to be more relevant, right? That's their professional services that they do. And they're the ones usually that are doing this deep thinking, psychographic, demographic type thinking about what these customer groups want, for a product and how they're relating to it. It's really beautiful magic in a lot of ways on what they do. I mean, I have so much respect for it, but after all that work, and now you get down, and a lot of this has to do, I think, honestly, JS, like with just the advent of online, the advent of the smartphone, just everything starts multiplying and just gets deeper and deeper, right? And so agencies have this complexity to try to get down to the customer level. Well, the customer level is coming, like you mentioned, from all angles, and all these different environments. And so they're making subconscious decisions on this stuff. And so the agencies, when they can take a brand creative that has that high point brand story, but then they can crystallize that down into specifics, it starts making a huge difference. And our tool allows them to work really fast.
Yeah, I mean, if you boil it down, we're gonna save them a tremendous amount of time. And make the ads more relevant, more specific, and better. Right. So we're gonna improve the product, and one of the terms we keep using is we're removing friction from the process. Right.
I like that.
And it smooths everything out. It streamlines it. It makes it faster. It makes it better. And then the other thing is these agencies, they want to be thought leaders. Right. They always want to bring something new to the table to the brands. Like, look what we're doing for you that no one else is doing.
Right.
AdFury gives an opportunity for early adopters to get in and say, look, we're utilizing AI to create more specific, better, more relevant ads, and it's going to increase performance. And we're one of the first ones beta testing it or, adopting it.
Right.
Another thing too, that when I think about the agencies, I want to make sure that they understand. We recognize, so AdFury plays in the retail media network space, right? We're not on socials, we're not in Google and all this stuff. We're playing this space when we're launching as of today. That space, is really, it's requiring a different level of the experience. So when a customer comes into a retail media network, they're kind of ready to buy, and they're looking for things. But one of the challenges agencies might have with the RMNs or retail media networks is that every one of them has very specific guidelines and specifications on how those ads have to be formatted to be placed correctly. When you take a sophisticated, advanced RMN like Walmart Connect, that is not just a one banner image display platform. There's 12 ad units, when you get into their display ads. And that means if I have one ad message I want to do, I need to break that down into 12 different formats.
Right.
So that it can go across Walmart's ad platform ecosystem, which is, superior right now because it's going on mobile devices, it's going everywhere. And so that attention to that knowledge of those specs and guidelines and the tone of voice Walmart expects, we do that. That's where our AI comes in. We're making sure that everything's abiding by those specs.
Yeah.
Now, like JS mentioned, the agency is able to get back to work on the great things that they can do and that they're really great at.
Yeah.
And we take care of that knowledge center.
Yeah.
And it allows them to work more freely.
Yeah.
With confidence.
Yeah, it's speed. I think speed is so critical. And I know we keep saying it, but it is. But you're creating speed by helping them to get back to what they need to be working on. The agencies. Okay. Two more things I wanted, let's talk about retailers and then we'll talk about customers, but talk about, the impact on retailers. I know we talked about Walmart already, but it's broader than that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we're really we love Walmart. We work, live, play here. We want to help Walmart win. That's our ambition, and so we're coming out as Walmart Connect in that platform and that retail media network and specializing in that right out of the gate. And so I think that when it comes to the retailer, and JS, you can please add to this, but my first thought is like they want to be relevant to that customer. That's their ultimate demand. The customer that comes to Walmart, that enters the Walmart ecosystem, it doesn't matter if they came in to get a tire fixed, it doesn't matter however it happens, or they Googled something, they landed at Walmart. But when they're in that ecosystem, it's extremely important that customer has a fantastic experience. And one of those experiences is finding what I'm looking for. It's got to be easy. It's got to be relevant, right? And that there's, so many points in the details of that. And where we're playing at, again, is that relevancy of search. And so that ad promotion is relevant. So now I'm like, what I expect, but I can't wait to one day where we can be on stage and cheering, right? With Walmart and the community is going, we really help this customer experience. And because of the tool and the work that we did, everyone won. Especially the customer, because now there's a retail media network that has really great ads, right, that are to the point and accurate.
Yeah, that help and matter, right? Yes. But I think another big piece for the retailers is that if we're removing the friction from the system to create these display ads, you have more people able, more brands, more products able to be promoted through it, right? Yeah. And so you're increasing volume into the system, which increases Walmart Connect revenue. And as you know, omnichannel is changing, retailers are changing. Their media networks are producing a ton of the profit for the company, and it's just growing. So the more advertisers that can get in easier, the better.
And we really believe that AdFury is a superior tool to help increase that volume, unlike anything that's in the market.
I will tell you, we study omnichannel all the time. That's what we do. This is our business, and what you're describing to our viewers today is definitely cutting edge. Yeah, no question about it. I don't know if it's out there, but it's wonderful. Now, the most important piece of all this is our customer.
Yeah,
Sam Walton on Fridays, Saturday morning meetings, he would remind all of us the most important person is the customer. So I happen to have a book with me. It's called, it's Made in America.
That's Made.
And I know this, with Sam, when I would talk to my team, I would say chapter 12. Everyone knew what chapter 12 was, because chapter 12 is what Sam wrote about, is making the customer number one. I will tell you, I heard, and I had the opportunity to travel with Sam, travel with David Glass, and other great leaders at Walmart. But I would tell you, every time we traveled with Sam, it was about the customer. It was about the customer. It was about the customer.
Good.
And they were number one. And if I can, I'd like to read a quote from Sam.
Yeah, please.
And I'd love to hear you gentlemen talk about the customer and the pointers there. But, Sam says here, he said, I love how he started this. He said, I know you're sick to death of hearing this. That's what he said. I mean, this is in the book. I've heard him say that so many times. Yeah. And you knew what was coming.
Yeah.
But he says here, he said, the secret of successful retailing is to give your customers what they want. You guys have done a great job at talking about what we want as a customer with your new AI system.
That's what we've been talking about.
I mean, I read this the other day, and what little I knew in my research about what you guys are going to talk about today, you have nailed the number one point. Sam Walton said that he said the secret of successful retailing is to give the customers what they want, and then he goes on and says, and really, if you think about it, from your point of view as a customer, you want everything. You want wide assortment, good quality merchandise, lowest possible prices, guaranteed satisfaction, friendly, knowledgeable service, convenient hours, and free parking. Okay.
Walmart has always done that well.
Yeah. Let's break that down just for a moment. If we listen to what Sam said we should do on customer service, he says here a wide assortment. I think you're doing that. Would you agree?
I mean, .com has the widest assortment you can have, right?
There you go.
It's the widest assortment period. And what you're doing, you're taking that wide assortment and you're making it much easier, informing the customer about the products quicker, easier, faster, right?
Right.
That's what you're doing. Okay, but I think we can check that one off. Then he talks about knowledgeable service. Are you improving knowledge on product?
Yeah. If we're speaking in the customer's language, right, to exactly what they're searching for,
right.
We're providing them what they're looking for. Right?
Yeah, and you and I know this because we've been working on the software, but that's not like an easy get. It's not like just something.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually a pretty complicated scenario because it's not like you can go talk to somebody and interview them about their product and understand what they're doing. What we're doing is we're using the information that product has available within the catalog, right, to understand this product has the attribute A. Here's keyword, and this matches. And so building that sophistication to make it automated and immediate is really the big challenge of where we're at.
Not just that, but also just the category research that we've built into our models.
Yeah.
Right. And so not only does our AI understand your product from your product information, but it also understands what shoppers are wanting in the category and how to draw the line between the two.
And Sam says knowledgeable service. That is really what you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and he was speaking of it from a brick and mortar standpoint, but as you talk about what you're doing online, it is knowledgeable service.
That's right.
Because they have much more knowledge now about that product.
That's right.
And it helps them make a faster, more informed decision. I think what you're doing is incredible. I really do. I think what you're doing is that as we think about the future of retail for a moment, as we started, because the future is about creating personalized, seamless, and engaging experiences for the customer. You're doing that.
That's it.
You have taken in my opinion, what Sam Walton says, and I'm going to tell you, when he says it, I believe it.
Yeah.
And it's proof. It's done.
Yeah.
But when I talk and hear Doug McMillan talk, about the future retail, it's grounded in these critical bases that Sam Walton taught us in retail. These are the things he taught us. You have taken those things and you're moving that into the future.
Yeah. I think that omnichannel retail is such a complex space, right? I mean, it's daunting. What I always love is that those values are still true.
Yeah.
Because
At timeless, right?
they're timeless.
Yeah.
Because it's like there's all these complexities actually just distract us from what really a product or a business is supposed to provide, which is rendering a really great service. And and when you look at software and AI and all this stuff that's going on, it's even easier to forget what you're doing. And what we talked about with the brands, the agencies, the retailer, and the customer, we're providing this service to them through this boxed in technological product,
Yeah.
And I feel like that what we've done really well here is in the midst of all this complexity, what the opportunity is that we can go really deep, a mile deep, inch wide, which is what we did at White Spider.
Sure.
And, and so we're in this RMN space, retail media network space. We're focused on these display video ads, right? And making that all really excellently delivered in this space. And so if you go in the middle of this complexity and chaos of the future of retail, I think it's going to be down into the devil's in the details, right? It's about how do we get more granular in these extra verticals that are popping up versus trying to be the all in all be all type of software that's trying to do too many things. And that way we can work deeper in it and get even better, right?
Yeah.
The tool's super cool. I wish that we could.
Yeah.
We'll have our site will be launched by the time that this airs, and people can check it out. We'll probably have a little bit of a small demo in there, but I mean,
and initially we'll have a beta that people can sign up to join by the time this airs, so people can check that out.
Yeah, and we're really looking for those beta customers, I mean, like they need to register. We're going to award those because we want beta partners, that are helping us to further
giving us feedback, listening to our customer, right, and making changes, giving them what they want.
Exactly.
Which we're already bringing our potential customers into the design process of this, which White Spider again gave us great partners that we could lean on in for this venture.
Yeah, and I think what's pretty neat about this scenario again, which I really appreciate, like when JS and I worked together at White Spider, I mean, we were dogging it out, right? I mean, we didn't have.
We bootstrapped the heck
out of it,
Yeah, it's awesome.
But it was great. I mean, JS's leadership is, he's best CEO I've ever worked with, best one I know. I put Doug McMillan up there as well. I mean, but
as the first and last time I've been compared to.
But in my mind, right? And I mean, like, so when JS came in at White Spider, really helped us, give vision to to get over that second stage growth.
Right.
What's cool about this time is that, because we kind of been there and done that, we like fall right in the seam. I mean, when we agreed on this and we had a handshake, it was like, okay, we're going to get the documents done, but we know what's on. Yeah. And I know what he's going to do. I know what I'm going to do. My stress level went way down, whatever JS.
Mine went way up. That's part of the deal.
Perfect partnership.
That was part of the handshake, is that my stress was going to go up. But
that's great. Okay, when is this going to launch?
Yeah, so we're launching. We're going to the Adobe Summit. By the time this airs, we'll be at the Adobe Summit on March 17th. And we're launching it there. And then the very next week, that's going to be in Vegas. And then the very next week, we're going to Shop Talk.
And also in Vegas.
So we got a nice two-week getaway in Vegas.
And I think it's important to mention also that we're going to the Adobe Summit to launch because we are a partner with Adobe, and Adobe is embedded into our software, which is really a huge thing.
Yeah.
Especially with us being coming out of the gates with the largest creative partner. And so people who are subscribers to Adobe will be able to utilize Adobe within our software to manage and edit their display ads, and of course publish direct to Walmart.com and to Walmart Connect, and create campaigns in our system that publish. So again, reducing the friction. You don't have to download things, create your own campaign somewhere else. It's all built within the system.
Right. Yeah, which is a great value add for the agencies and the brands that have those Adobe subscriptions.
It's just so streamlined.
Right. It really is. It really is.
Awesome. This is exciting.
Yeah,
it's fun.
I'm excited for you both. I will tell you, it's great to see you back together.
Thank you.
It is. It's great to see you back together.
I know I feel that way.
Yeah, it's great. I can sense it. I mean, you guys are going to do great together, and I think this is just the beginning of what you all will do in order to help us through creating and this complexity of omnichannel, creating simplification to it. Just like the vision that doing business in Bentonville, Eric, we talked about that. You said we have got to create clarity. We've got to do something around this, and that's what we're working on every day.
Yeah.
And what you're both doing is exactly that. Is demystifying this whole thing around omnichannel.
Yeah, I hope it is, and I hope that I know what JS and I, we have a very succinct vision. Like, we see this problem, we know we can provide the solution. Best in class.
That's awesome.
But it's also a catalyst and an example, another check mark, like what we had at White Spider. Like what Nick Dozier did. With Atlas, and then I was doing it with Engine. I mean, there's all these case studies of our local communities, stepping up to solve this massive
challenges, right?
Yeah, and challenges, and so that's what I always get excited about.
Well, the best of both of you and your company, and I know you've got a great team that's you have to surround yourselves with. That's working tirelessly on this. So best to them. It's been so great having you both on. It's been too long. Now, we need to get an update on this in a couple months.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Can you guys come back?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's
get another update on this, see where you are, see where things are going. And so it's been a great discussion. Thank you. Thank you.
It's been great. Appreciate you having me.
To our viewers, thank you so much. doing business in Bentonville is focused on omnichannel. We are your source. We have experts like this all the time. So when you need information, you're looking for the future of retail, check us out and check our website out. Again, thank you to all our viewers for all that you do. We really, really appreciate your loyalty to us. You know, as we close out, we all know that technology is a major driving force in retail today. But what I've heard too, that you can't take the human element away because it's critical to our success. You have integrated both of those into your process, it sounds like.
Yep.
It's wonderful. I think you're going to have great impacts on the 4 points we talked about, from suppliers to brands to agencies to retailers, and to the most important, as Sam Walton has reminded us again today, the customer.
Right.
So thank you, gentlemen. Anything before we get out of here?
AdFury.ai, AdFury.ai. Check it.
I love
Sign up for the beta. We'd love to get your feedback and work with you and partner and conquer.
Okay. Eric Howerton, JS, thank you.
Got it.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a
Thanks,
wonderful
Andy.
day.